Chapter 39. In the 9th year of Zedekiah king of Judah, in the 10th month, came Nebuchadrezzar king of Babylon and all his army against Jerusalem, and besieged it. In the 11th year of Zedekiah, in the 4th month, in the 9th day of the month, a breach was made in the city, that all the princes of the king of Babylon came in, and sat in the middle gate, even Nergal-Sarezer, Samgar-Nebo, Sarsechim, Rabsaris, Nergal-Sarezer, Rabmag, with all the residue of the princes of the king of Babylon. And it came to pass that when Zedekiah the king of Judah and all the men of war saw them, then they fled and went forth out of the city by night, by the way of the king's garden, by the gate betwixt the two walls, and he went out the way of the Arabah. But the army of the Chaldeans pursued after them, and overtook Zedekiah in the plains of Jericho. And when they had taken him, they brought him up to Nebuchadrezzar king of Babylon to Rivlah in the land of Hamath, and he gave judgment upon him. Then the king of Babylon slew the sons of Zedekiah in Rivlah before his eyes. Also the king of Babylon slew all the nobles of Judah. Moreover, he put out Zedekiah's eyes, bound him in fetters, to carry him to Babylon. And the Chaldeans burned the king's house, and the house of the people, with fire, and broke down the walls of Jerusalem. Then Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, carried away captive into Babylon the remnant of the people that remained in the city, the deserters also that fell away to him, with the rest of the people that remained. But Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, left the poor of the people that had nothing in the land of Judah, and gave them vineyards and fields in that day. Now Nebuchadrezzar king of Babylon gave charge concerning Jeremiah to Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, saying, Take him, and look well to him, and do him no harm, but do unto him even as he shall say unto you. So Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, sent, and Nebushashban, Rabsaris, and Nergal-Sarezer, Rabmag, and all the chief officers of the king of Babylon, they sent and took Jeremiah out of the court of the guard, and committed him unto Gedaliah the son of Ahikam, the son of Shaphan, that he should carry him home. So he dwelt among the people. Now the word of the Lord came unto Jeremiah while he was shut up in the court of the guard, saying, Go and speak to Ebed-melech the Ethiopian, saying, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, Behold, I will bring my words upon this city for evil, and not for good, and they shall be accomplished before you in that day. But I will deliver you in that day, saith the Lord, and you shall not be given into the hand of the men of whom you art afraid. For I will surely deliver you, and you shall not fall by the sword, but your life shall be for a prey unto you, because you have put your trust in me, saith the Lord. All right. Let's go back up to verse 1, and we'll recall yesterday, the last chapter, these ones that was gathered up, even the king's son and all the priests, and they had heard now what Jeremiah was saying. They was going to kill Jeremiah. They throwed him down in the pit. Malchiah is my God's king. He is the son of the king. They throwed him down into the pit of Malchiah. And finally, Ebed-melech, the servant of the king, the Ethiopian, the son of Cush, one of the sons of Cush, had brought him up out of the pit by the word of Zedekiah. He had sent 30 men with him, and they went and got Jeremiah up out of the pit. And then Zedekiah pulled him to the side, and Jeremiah was still telling Zedekiah to come out of the city, come out of here, and go out to the king of Babylon and live. But if you don't, you'll cause this city to be burned with fire. And we're going to see Zedekiah did not listen to the word of God through the prophet who he had sent trying to warn him. And Jeremiah still remained there, and he remained in the prison house until the day that they came to carry Jerusalem away or the king of Babylon came in. And we're going to pick it up there. And it did come to pass when Jerusalem was taken. Verse 1. In the 9th year of Zedekiah, the king of Judah, in the 10th month, came Nebuchadrezzar, the king of Babylon, and all his army against Jerusalem, and besieged it. And it would be in the 9th year of Zedekiah. Zedekiah would have 11 years in his reign, but we're going to find out the last 2 years of his would be in a siege by the king of Babylon. And this would be in the 9th year of his reign, and 9 means harvest. 9 is the harvest, because that would be when the work of man would be complete. And this 9th would be the portion of the harvest. And the year, of course, is always the greater understanding in the judgment of God, or the justice of God. And this would be in the 10th month that Nebuchadrezzar would come. And this 10th month would be 10, the law. For twice will witness grace, and twice did the law have to come down. 10th month would be the portion of the law even assigned to the lesser light. And Nebuchadrezzar, he is the prophet that protects the crown. He is the king of confusion. And all his army did come against Jerusalem. And Jerusalem is that place of peaceful teachings. Verse 2, and in the 11th year of Zedekiah, in the 4th month, in the 9th day of the month, a breach was made in the city. So we'll see that it was just a little less than 2 years later, that after the king of Babylon besieged the city, that a breach was made in the city. And this would be in the 11th year of Zedekiah, which would be the last year of his reign. And the 11th year is the law in the beginning. This law in the beginning, even it was in disorder. There was a disorder in the beginning of the law. This even in the portion of the greater understanding of the judgment of God. And it was be in the 4th month. And this 4 is the work of God that's been apportioned out to the lesser light. In the harvest that was apportioned out to understanding of the lesser light. This would be how a breach is made in the city, when a little bit of understanding causes the breach. 13, and the princes of the king of Babylon came in and sat in the middle gate, even Nergal, Sarazar, Samgar-Nebo, Sarsekim, Rabsaris, Nergal, Sarazar, Rabmag, with all the residue of the princes of the king of Babylon. And basically these are titles of the Babylonian speech. And this Nergal Sarazar, Nergal is the hero, and Sarazar is the prince of fire. And Samgar-Nebo is the sword of the prophet. This is the sword of the prophet. Samgar and Nebo is the same as Nebu, which would mean the prophet. Sarsekim Rabsaris is the prince of the eunuchs, and this Rabsaris would mean the head eunuch, the great eunuch, or the much eunuch, the one who is over all the other eunuchs, and these would be the ones who would be made seedless to do the king's work. Nergal-Sarazar Rabmag, Nergal-Sarazar, once again, this hero of the fire, this hero of the prince of the fire, which this fire is the consuming fire, even judgment of God. He would be the head magician, and this would be having much magic. Rabmag would be having much magic, be the head magician, with all the residue of the princes of confusion. So he come down with all his mighty ones. 4, and it came to pass, when Zedekiah the king of Judah and all the men of war saw them, then they fled and went forth out of the city by night, by the way of the king's garden, by the gate, between the two walls, and he went out the way of the Arabah. So when the king and all his Judah, the ones mighty men of war that was left, these ones of men of war that was left, seeing now the king of Babylon sitting in the middle gate, because he'd done entered right into the city, and all his princes sitting there and all their armies around them, that they fled and went out between the way, in the king's garden there, by the way between the two walls. There was an entrance there where the king could get out, and it by the way of the Arabah. And this Arabah is a plain, a flat field, even a flat field that's sterile. It's not able to produce anything. It's like a desert type place, a dry environment. 5, but the army of the Chaldeans pursued after them and overtook Zedekiah in the plains of Jericho. And when they had taken him, they brought him up to Nebuchadrezzar, the king of Babylon, to Rivlah, in the land of Hamath, and gave judgment upon him. So now they've caught Zedekiah, this justice of God, the one God has taken judgment out on it, actually. And they caught him, when they caught up with him, they caught up with him in the plains of Jericho. And we remember Jericho, that was that city God said, you will not build this city again. But they did build that city again, and we'll find that even Lishma fixed the waters there. He salted them. When they caught up with him there in Jericho, they brought him to the king of Babylon, Nebuchadrezzar, and up to Rivlah, and this was probably where the king of Babylon had his place set. Rivlah is a place of fertility, a fruitful place, a place that's going to bear much fruit, and it's in the land of Hamath. And Hamath is that place it's a fortress, and it's a fortress made of walls. And he gave judgment over him there, and the king of Babylon slew the son, 6, of Zedekiah in Rivlah before his eyes. Also the king of Babylon slew all the nobles of Judah. And these were all the important ones, all the ones that had made him a high place and hewed him out of place there. God had told him he was going to judge them and bring them in this judgment. And now we'll find that God finally has punished them even greatly, carrying them off into Babylon and slaying them there, even in Hamath, that place even similar to that which they had tried to create. And he did it before the eyes of Zedekiah. So Zedekiah would have to watch this. And this would probably be the cruelest part of his punishment. 7, moreover, he put out Zedekiah's eyes and bound him in fetters to carry him to Babylon. And would be the last thing Zedekiah would ever see. And the king of Babylon wanted him to live with the torment of just what he had done. And he bound Zedekiah in fetters after he puts out his eyes, and that he have no more sight, that he have no more vision. And he carries him to confusion. He carries him off to Babylon, just like it was told he was going to happen to him if he wouldn't go out and give himself up. 8, and the Chaldeans burned the king's house and the house of the people with fire and broke down the walls of Jerusalem. And this would be when the judgment of God was just in its beginning. See, this is just the beginning, the carrying away to Babylon, the punishment there, the release. We'll find more about this later. Meanwhile, the Chaldeans, these clod breakers, these ones are supposed to be the wisest in the land, have burned the king's house and destroyed it, and it's all come to an end. 9, then Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, carried away captive into Babylon the remnant of the people that remained in the city, the deserters also that fell away to him with the rest of the people that remained. And this Nebuzaradan, this would be the prophet that has the seed, the prophet that produces seed. or the prophet that has given seed, and we're going to find out Nebuzaradan would have been the one that was already in the land. He's the captain of the guard. He is the one who was already working in the land, see, and he carried away captive to Babylon to confusion all the remnant of the people, everybody that was left in the city, everybody that remained, all the deserters also, see, these that fell away to him, because he was the one who was seeding the discourse within the city, even from the beginning. 10. But Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, left the poor of the people that had nothing in the land of Judah, and gave them vineyards and fields in that day. So he leaves the poor people. He leaves those that didn't have anything, those that really never had a chance. They had no understanding of any kind. They was left. They was used to do the work of the higher ones. These ones was given a vineyard, a garden place, and fields in that day. 11. Now Nebuchadrezzar, the king of Babylon, gave charge concerning Jeremiah to Nebuzaradan, captain of the guard, saying, so Nebuchadrezzar, this prophet that protects the crown, he's the king of confusion, he gave charge, or gave words to Nebuzaradan, this prophet who gives seed, or the prophet who contributed to this strife. He gives charge to Zardan what to do with Jeremiah, what to do with Jeremiah. They was fully aware of who Jeremiah was. See, Jeremiah had been prophesying these words for many years in the city, saying, my God is going to destroy this city. He has given the city to the king of Babylon. And Nebuzaradan and all his men had been working in the city trying to get those to fall away to him. And they had heard of Jeremiah. There were no secrets about who he was. 12. Take him, and look well to him, and do him no harm, but do unto him even as he shall say unto you. So Nebuchadrezzar's told him, because they've all told Nebuchadrezzar about this great prophet who's prophesying of you coming even into the city. He's been telling about you coming, and they've given charge now concerning Jeremiah what to do with him, saying do whatever he says. 13. So Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, sent, and Nebuchadnezzar, Rabsaris, and Nergal-Sarezer-Rabmag, and all the chief officers of the king of Babylon. So not only Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, but as well Nebuchadnezzar-Rabsaris. Shashban-Rabsaris is that prophet that delivers. Even he's the one that was the head eunuch, or this one who was made sterile, and Nergal-Sarezer, the hero, this prince of the fire, who is the head magician, and all the chief officers of the king of Babylon. These would be the officers, or the ones who would officiate the business of the king of confusion. 14. They sent and took Jeremiah out of the court of the guard, and committed him unto Gedaliah, the son of Ahikam, the son of Shaphan, that they should carry him home, so he dwelt among the people. So they took in Jeremiah, and they give him up, and because we're going to find out that the king of Babylon has made Gedaliah the temporary governor, and Gedaliah is my God is great. My God is great. He is the son of Ahikam, and Ahikam is my brother is risen. My brother is risen up. He is the son, or the one that would come from Shaphan. And Shaphan is the one who hides in the earth. He would be the one who digs and hides in the earth. 15. Now the word of the Lord came unto Jeremiah while he was shut up in the court of the guard, saying, so we're going to switch subjects a little bit here, and we're going to go back to a period of time when Jeremiah was still shut up in the court of the guard, back before this happened, when this word come to Jeremiah, this one whom God has appointed. 16. Go and speak to Ebed-Melech the Ethiopian, saying, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, Behold, I will bring my words upon this city for evil, and not for good, and they shall be accomplished before you in that day. And this message to Ebed-melech would be the servant of the king. He is the one of darkness, the one who is the king's servant. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, Behold, watch, look, and I will bring my words upon this city for evil. And that was the purpose of the Lord, was to bring his punishment upon the city, even this judgment upon the city. And we remember this judgment was doubled. Twice shall they pay, and they shall be accomplished before you in that day. 17. But I will deliver you in that day, saith the Lord, that you shall not be given into the hand of the men of whom you art afraid. So God is going to be there to help Ebed-melech. Well, remember, Ebed-melech is the one that took the old clothes, old cloths, old rags, and piece of ropes, whatever he could find. He got Jeremiah up out of the pit of Malchiah. 18. For I will surely deliver you, and you shall not fall by the sword, but your life shall be for a prey unto you, because you have put your trust in me, saith the Lord. So he tells Ebed-melech, the one who serves the king, that he's not going to deliver you to those that are hunting you, to this king of Babylon, to this confusion. He's going to deliver you now from the sword or the law of God when it comes through, but your life shall be for a prey unto you. You'll be able to save your own life. You'll be able to have the ability to understand even, because he has given you your life for a prey, because you have put your trust in me, saith the Lord. Because you have put your trust in me, saith the Lord. Because you have did what I told you. You have obeyed me and knew that I was going to be the one, God said, to destroy this city. So Ebed-melech has his life for a prey, and this would be the one who serves the king. He has been given back his life for a prey. Truth, understanding has come to him. He's been delivered from the law if he would be observant to the law, because that's all it ever took, was to be observant to the law. And none of this would have ever happened. All right, turn and return. Let's move to chapter 40.